2025 was my first full calendar year of being involved in the world of points and miles, and so today I wanted to make a video breaking down the trips that I took last year and their costs, and how I was able to use the rewards that I earned to subsidize those costs and enjoy travel at a very steep discount. Hi guys, my name is Evan, and on this channel I break down how to earn, redeem, and maximize credit card rewards for travel. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in learning about, make sure you like the video and hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss a thing. Now, before we get into the actual breakdown of the trips, I just want to preface this video by saying a few things. Number one, this is in no way, shape, or form supposed to be me bragging or boasting about the trips that I've taken, but rather an educational video just informing you on how you can leverage maybe even the most basic form of credit card rewards to very heavily subsidize the travel that maybe we otherwise wouldn't have taken because of the cost. Number two is that I'm not going to cover all of the extracurricular costs of trips. I'm not going to talk about, parking at the airport or the money that I spent on gas to get to the airport or the budget for the trip itself. I'm solely going to focus on the cost of airfare and lodging because those are the two main things that credit card rewards are going to cover for you and what I use my points to cover. The other costs are also just so variable that they really don't matter in this context. But if you do have any questions, make sure to leave them down below and I will answer it in a comment separately. The third thing is that this is only going to be a video about the trips that I actually took in 2025. I did a lot of points earning throughout the year and have used some of those points to book trips for this year in spring and summer of 2026, but I'm only going to talk about the trips that I actually took last year, and I'll make separate videos before and after the trips that I'm taking this year, so make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss those when they come out. All right, now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the first trip that my girlfriend and I took this year, which was a spring break vacation to Las Vegas, where we stayed at the Link Hotel for 5 days and 4 nights. I'm going to be putting pictures up over here as well as a little spreadsheet up top to help us keep track of all the numbers. But as for the cost of airfare for this trip, it was a whopping $0. We live in Southern California and elected to just drive because it's only about a 4.5 hours drive away from us, and it just felt the most economical given the circumstances. So airfare was going to be $0. Now, as for the Link Hotel, that originally would have been a whopping $600 for the 4 nights, breaking down to about $150 a night. However, I was able to slash that cost down by using a $300 Chase travel credit that I received from the sign up bonus on my Chase Sapphire Preferred. They were running a limited time offer back in October of 2024 to earn 60,000 points, as well as a $300 Chase travel credit. And so I got that and used the travel credit to book the hotel, bringing my total for the hotel down to a whopping $300 for a 4 night stay. So from 150 a night down to 75. So as for the total for the trip to Vegas, again, just counting airfare and the hotel stay, the original without any credit card rewards or travel certificates would have been $600 out of pocket, and the final cost ended up only being $300 for a final discount of 50% off a 5 day, 4 night stay in Vegas. The second trip that my girlfriend and I took in 2025 came just a couple of months after Vegas, and we went to Cancun, Mexico for a 6 day, 5 night stay at the Hyatt Vivid Grand Islands all inclusive adults only resort. Airfare to get there through any domestic US airports, even on slightly cheaper airlines like Southwest, was incredibly expensive. I'm talking $750 a person round trip. So we decided that that was not in our budget and therefore went down to San Diego, used the Cross Border Express, and flew on Viva Aerobus out of the Tijuana International Airport and got us over to Cancun for a grand total of $750 total that we paid out of pocket just using cash. Now, as for the hotel stay, this was my first real big boy points and miles redemption because I used Chase Ultimate Rewards points to transfer over to Hyatt in order to book this stay. My girlfriend and I have been talking about wanting a beachy vacation escape for years now, and it's because of this game that I was able to make that happen at a very substantially lower cost than what it would have been to pay out of pocket. So I transferred over 103,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points to Hyatt, where I was able to book the 5 nights and 6 days total. Each of the days was 20,000 points, except for one. I think there was one day that was 23,000 points. But the cash rate for this hotel at the time of booking was going for about $420 a night. And I'm pretty sure that's before taxes and fees. So all in with cash, this booking would have cost me over $2,000 again before taxes and fees. And so considering that, I got over 2 cents per point using my Chase points to send them to Hyatt and did not spend a dime on this resort, but got to eat and drink my heart out for 6 days, go to the beach, relax by a pool, and just have a blast. And it was 100% worth it. This is why I play this game. And it's by far our favorite trip that we've taken so far. So again, just factoring in airfare and lodging, the total without using any type of credit card rewards would have set us back right around $2,850 for this trip. However, because I was able to not spend a single penny on the hotel stay, that brings the cost down to just the out-of-pocket cash expense for the airfare, which was $750. So all in all, again, just counting airfare and lodging, we spent $750 for 6 days, 5 nights for two people to eat and drink their hearts out by the beach, and it was 100% worth it. That brings the total savings to Cancun up to $2,100 off the trip and a grand total percentage savings of 73%. The third and final trip that my girlfriend and I took this year was for our anniversary just about a month ago, this past December, where we elected to go to Chicago for a true winter experience. We ended up staying at the Hilton Hampton Inn on McCormick Place, which I think was a great hotel, and we flew from San Diego to Midway and back. The total cost for airfare would have been $393 total for the round trip tickets for the both of us. However, my girlfriend had a $300 flight credit from Southwest because they lost her checked bag on a trip that she took earlier in the year with her family. Now, she did get the luggage back, and I know that this credit isn't technically earned from credit card rewards, so I'll get into that in just a second. But I'm still counting it for the sake of the overall savings on this trip. So, out of pocket for the flights, it was a whopping $93. Now, as for the hotel stay, the original cost of that for 4 days and 3 nights would have been $438. However, early in 2025, my girlfriend had signed up for the Capital One Venture card when it had the elevated sign up bonus of 75,000 points plus a $250 travel credit. And then later in the year in October, she also signed up for the Capital One Saver card when it had its elevated bonus of the $200 cash back plus a $100 Capital One travel credit. Now, considering we didn't really know what to use the travel credit on to begin with, we had saved it from the Capital One Venture and combined it with the one from the Saver and used that to book the hotel. And so instead of the $438 that it would have been out of pocket in cash, we used the $350 worth of travel credit and only paid $88 for 4 days and 3 nights at a hotel with free breakfast. So, without any sort of travel credits, the original cost for this trip would have been $831. However, applying all of the stuff that we used to save money, the grand total came out to only $181 for the trip for a grand total savings of $650. Now, including the flight credit, the total savings comes out to a whopping 78% off of the original price, which is absolutely a killer deal. However, again, I get it. That technically wasn't earned from credit card rewards. Actually, not technically, it wasn't earned from credit card rewards. So even if you wanted to take away that savings and bump up the total cost of the trip to $481 out of pocket, that's still almost a 50% savings just by using the two little travel credits that we got from Capital One and holding on to them for a time where we knew that we wanted to use them. So even if you don't want to count the flight credit, we still got incredible savings on this trip and we're able to have a really magical and fun anniversary trip, all thanks to credit card rewards. As for final numbers for all of 2025, the total out of pocket cost that I would have spent on airfare and lodging for the trips that my girlfriend and I took would have come out to a total of $4,281. However, we only actually ended up spending, drumroll please, $1,231 out of pocket for airfare and lodging for a grand total savings, thanks to credit card rewards, of $3,050. Now, I know that in 2025, the majority of my savings came from travel credits as opposed to using points and miles, but that's part of the reason why I wanted to make this video. I know that travel credits aren't as flashy or as flexible as points and miles, but I don't think that they quite get the love that they deserve. And I think that my 2025 travel is a great example of how you can use travel credits that, although they might be a little bit more difficult to use, they can still provide incredible value and help you create lasting memories that otherwise wouldn't be possible. Make sure that if you guys like this video or you learned anything at all, that you subscribe down below so you don't miss anything else. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.